Welcome everybody as we wrap up the Mid-Ohio round of the Zero Racing Series Season number 3. This is the weekend series, and championship leader Alessio De Bonis is on pole. He is followed closely by Ben Swarey in an all-Audi front row. He leads the championship by, I believe, 49 points over second place man Martin Lauer, who's third on the grid. Swarey is third, and Matt Wheeler is fourth, the largely applicable guys. On the second row with Lauer is Wesley Stokes, the top BMW in the standings, followed by Rick Martel in the Mercedes, BMW's Mark Klapzool, Matt Wheeler, the aforementioned man in the Mercedes. Then we have Mark Minahan in the BMW, the third Audi on the grid, Michael Magasevich, and the additional BMW on the grid, Jim Gill. BMW has 4 cars on the grid, making themselves the most represented brand today. So let's kick this off. Mercedes was absolutely dominant in the weekday series, but Swarey and De Bonis were the class of the field in qualifying. So let's see if Audi can strike back. And they're off. Looks like a pretty decent jump there from De Bonis. Looks like Wheeler's coming through in the back. Ooh, a little bit of bumpy with Mark Klapzool and Wesley Stokes. It is indeed going to be De Bonis out in front. We're definitely going to have to look back at that. There was a huge spin out involving Martin Lauer and I believe Matt Wheeler. But it looks like it should be also Ben Swarey involved. Let's have a look here. Just some side-by-side contact heading into turn 1. Wheeler gets caught up into it. A little bit of a bump also for the Audi of Mike Magasevich coming through. But, yeah, I mean, that's going to help De Bonis out a ton. All 3 of his main championship rivals just took each other out. We continue on our way. It is De Bonis leading from Rick Martel, from Wesley Stokes, from Mark Minahan, Mark Klapzool, Ben Swarey, getting just past Jim Gill, Martin Lauer. Mike Magasevich got bumped off there. Let's have a quick peek at what happened to him there. Not sure who he was running with that would have led to this this contact, or if indeed it was just himself. Looks like just a concertina effect. He's a little slow through the corner. Mark Klapzool gets into the back of Wesley Stokes, who gets into the back of Mike Magasevich. That's pretty much about it. De Bonis still leading the way in the Audi, the number 48 Castrol Edge car. Second place still belongs to the 84 Rick Martel. And then Wesley Stokes and Mark Minahan battling over the last podium spot for BMW. Looks like they have Jim Gill also in company. And then Martin Lauer in the second Mercedes in 6th place. Martin Lauer, the double winner on the weekday, pardon me. So he should be looking to make some spots up here. He's definitely got pace, despite the 3rd place on the grid. I think he's a definite threat to win despite the mistake. All he needs is, although at this point you'd have to imagine it would take a mistake from De Bonis to really open the door for anyone but the number 48 car to take victory. Matt Wheeler has gotten around Mike Magasevich. Also Klapzool on the lap, falling to the back. He must have had a moment somewhere out on track. And the number 11 Red Bull BMW. Absent once again is the other Red Bull car, the Audi of Tom Waz. Martin Lauer appears to have had a moment, has ended up in behind Matt Wheeler. Let's have a quick look there, because I think this is very championship viable. Winds up very off at the hairpin. Is it contact, or did he just get it wrong? So he's making a move on Jim Gill for 5th place, and yeah, he just gets the hairpin very, very wrong. Through goes Gill, through goes Swarey, and through goes Wheeler. This grid is now definitely kind of fractured in half. It's the top 5, which are... Swarey's breaking it up, but it was the top 5 down to Gill, who had not had an off-track moment, and then the 5 cars behind who had. But Ben Swarey has messed it up by taking 5th place off of Jim Gill. Mark Klapzul with a nice pass on Magasevich by the looks of it. Heading into the twisty part of Sector 2. We'll stay with these guys for a moment. Looks like there might be some feisty fighting going on for 9th place. Never mind, as Magasevich just basically does not turn the car in. Anyways, at the front, De Bonis still leading the way. Rick Martel, who is 4th in both of the weekday races, is still trailing him. Definitely a new look for Mercedes, though. They had dominated with the 1st through 4th in both weekday races. They have only one car in the top 5 this time, with BMW holding down 3rd and 4th, followed by the Audi Ben Swarey, the BMW of Jim Gill, Matt Wheeler in 7th place in the Mercedes, and then 8th place Martin Lauer, BMW and Audi rounding off the field. De Bonis still holding a comfortable lead. Doesn't look like he's trying to stretch it too much. More or less a constant gap back to the 84 of Martel. Getting a little out of shape, though, there in the corner with the gradient. Saving those tires, I imagine. Wesley Stokes has got a little bit of breathing room now back to Mark Minahan. These two guys are really the two big BMW hopes, although hopes of a championship, I think, has long since been removed from BMW's plans. They're just looking to get out of last place, get up past Audi, and build on for next season. Matt Wheeler coming up behind Jim Gill, and Martin Lauer also coming up. Gill normally a little more on the pace than this. Doesn't seem to have great pace in the BMW bank car. As Wheeler looks for a move here on lap 5, and he goes down the inside, and going around the outside, Martin Lauer. Looks like someone touched some pylons as they go scattering all over the place, but I believe the two Mercedes will. Oh, Gill losing it! Gill losing it in the hairpin. That's going to demote him. Oh, he spins it as well. See if Mark Klapzul can go through. He will. So that's going to dump Gill all the way back to 9th place, ahead of Mike Magasevich, the yellow and green car you see coming in the background there. Back at the front, Alessio De Bonis just having a quiet, comfortable race. A lot of people, a lot of the main opponents for this race just kind of stumbling over themselves. Rick Martel is in 2nd place, the number 84 Mercedes. This would be, I believe, his best run of the season. I don't know if he's had a podium, actually, to date. Of course, Season 1 champion of the weekday series, Rick Martel. And one of the all-time leading point scorers in Zero Racing. Stokes, Minahan, Swarey, Wheeler is at some point. Oh, wait, never mind. He was already ahead of Martin Lauer, so Lauer and Wheeler starting to fight a little bit over that 5th place, or 6th place, pardon me. 8th for Mark Klapzul. Mike Magus is now 9th. We have lost Jim Gill somewhere out on track. That is heartbreaking for the BMW car. The BMW bank car appears not to be running on track anymore. A retirement for him. Some technical failure, I imagine. Wes Stokes is actually catching up to the back of Rick Martel. He was the fastest non-Mercedes in the weekday round. Mark Minahan's catching him, so this could all play into the Deutsche Post car of Mark Minahan pretty quickly. Swarey still 5th. Martin Lauer has gotten past Matt Wheeler. Looked a little questionable there for a bit, but now Wheeler has, kind of edged himself into a wall. We'll see if he can get rolling and not lose a spot. He will. Mark Klapzul going through. After P7. Things are getting closer at the front, and don't underestimate Martin Lauer's pace. He's been fantastic around here. Like I said, double race winner during the weekday series, really putting his name into consideration for the runner-up spot. Unfortunately, Jason Mons, another Mercedes driver, has largely dominated the championship. It would take a lot, I think, at this point to put him behind anyone. I think this battle for second place is going to get real interesting real quick, but we're going to look at Matt Wheeler chasing down Mark Klapzool here for a bit. I think Klapzool is a little bit out of position. I think Wheeler wasn't great in qualifying, but we know the Aussie has pace. Third in the championship standings. Should be looking to make short work of the Red Bull of Klapzool. Pressure increasing on Rick Martel. Still has a bit of a gap. And I'd say Stokes still has more to worry about from Mark Minahan just yet. Martin Lauer not really making the inroads I was hoping to see. That was going to make this fight for second a really interesting play. Plenty of time to go. But you can see this fight for second place is becoming very interesting. Rick Martel, not quite got the speed he seemed to have in the weekday races, where he was definitely faster than Stokes. You got Stokes crawling up on the back of him, and the Audi of Ben Swarey is not far in the background of the fourth place BMW of Mark Minahan. Matt Wheeler also putting the screws to Mark Klapzool in the battle for 7th place between BMW and Mercedes. Mike Magsevich losing the track again. Alessio De Bonis, I would be worried if I didn't think that it was just him taking it easy, saving the tires, not putting any stress on the car right now. But he is losing a lot of ground, so gotta wonder if maybe there's a problem for the lead Audi. I don't know if he'll come into play here, but we'll see. This is Martel versus Stokes versus Minahan versus Swarey. Battle for 2nd through 5th place. And 6th place, Martin Lauer, double winner in the weekday, might yet become a factor in this fight. Good fight still going on for 7th as Mark Klapzool continues to hold up Matt Wheeler. Wheeler going down the inside, not quite there. He's going to be on the outside for this long turn. Don't think that's going to get the job done. Mark Klapzool, always a tough racer. Feisty in defense. Very much hailing in the Dutch tradition of Tom Cornell, Jos Verstappen, Max Verstappen. Tough on defense. Second place battle heating up. Martel got a little bit of a gap. I think now Stokes has got to worry more about staying on the podium than going on for the attack. Martin Lauer is catching up to the battle for 2nd, but I don't know if he's going to have enough time. I expected the gap to come down at a quicker delta than it really has. But this battle for 3rd getting real interesting. Rick Martel's starting to slither up down the road. Good for him. Not so great for Wes Stokes, who had dreams of the 2nd step of the podium, I think. There's the view from the nose of Wesley Stokes, the 3rd place car. Whoa! I think we just tuned into the right time on this. Sorry about that. Clicked on the timeline. That is my bad. Alright, this is the lap that it occurs on. Lap 8. In the latter stages of the lap coming up into here. It looked like we had a contact between Matt Wheeler. Or pardon me, lap 9 is the one I'm looking for. Just make sure here. Let's see here. My apologies again. Sloppy camera work. Okay, so then it is definitely lap 9 we're looking for here. So on lap 9, it looks like these two cars came together. Or simply we saw Klapzool make a mistake and we're seeing the ending of it. They've been battling for quite a while over 7th place. Looked like things got hairy in Sector 3. Alright, here we go. Back end lost by Klapzool. Contact with Wheeler, but I would say that that's more a case of losing control of the car. Although it looks like Wheeler doesn't want to take the spot that way. Gentlemanly move from the Australian Mercedes driver. As I believe that Klapzool's back end just came loose. And that would not have been a faux pas to make the pass there, I don't think. Anyways, we head into lap 10. Pressure is on. We're going to stick with this for a moment because I feel a pass is coming on here soon. Matt Wheeler is all over the back of Mark Klapzool. As they head into the hairpin. Down the inside goes Wheeler. He might have the play. Yeah, it looks like he's got it. The DRS will allow him to pull away. I believe he's using the DRS. Yep, that is DRS active on the Mercedes. Oh, they got close though. Mark Klapzool, I don't think is done with this fight yet. Meantime, Wesley Stokes still holding up Mark Minahan and Ben Swarey. You feel like they probably have slightly faster cars. You see Martin Lauer in the background still catching up here on lap 11. Fantastic fight, though, for 3rd place. And Rick Martel, he was skating on down the road, but he doesn't seem to be able to really stretch it. Really take himself out of the this fight here. We'll see if this is over or not between these 4 racers. Although I think the chances of Martin Lauer playing a role here are fading quite a bit. I think everything behind this is largely set in stone at this point. They are getting closer to Rick Martel's Mercedes, that is for sure. This is Mercedes versus BMW versus Audi. Wesley Stokes going down the inside on Rick Martel. We thought he was in trouble. We thought he was the man who would be passed, but it is instead Wesley Stokes taking 2nd place for the number 31 BMW team. Fantastic move on Rick Martel here. Now Mark Minahan on the pressure. I don't know if Martel really has the pace to come back at Stokes. Swarey, Minahan propped up behind them. Martin Lauer in the distance in 6th place. Definitely not in this fight. We thought he might be able to get into this, but just has not quite had the relative pace that he did during his double win in the weekday round. Some contact there between Minahan and Martel on what I believe is the slowdown lap. Anyways, Alessio De Bonis has taken the victory here at Mid-Ohio Race 1. He's been followed by Wesley Stokes, Rick Martel, all three brands on the podium. Swarey, I believe, ended up bumping Minahan out of the way on the cool-down lap. I believe he is 5th place. Martin Lauer, 6th, 7th for Matt Wheeler. Mike Magasevich, somewhere along the line, picked up 8th spot over Mark Klabsula. I assumed the BMW driver had a problem because Magasevich in the 99 was not remotely close to him. So I assumed that was a problem unrelated to the 99 Audi. So Alessio De Bonis, championship leader, extends his championship lead healthily because his main rivals, Swarey finishes the top spot in 5th. Lauer 6th, Wheeler 7th. This is a big race for Alessio De Bonis, but he'll have to come from the back in race 2 to try to make it a double. Martin Lauer did it. It can be done, but we'll see if Alessio De Bonis can pull off the double.